Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing another StarCraft commentary, and we're on to the OSL Semifinals. This is going to be the second week of the Semifinals, and it's going to be Jangbi versus Sue. The winner of this series will go on to play the winner of Fantasy versus Hydra, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out now. Nuke's casted it in English, or watch on Navaki or wherever else you go, but I am going to spoil the results here, and possibly even in other sets, so make sure you go check that out. But whoever wins this series between Jangbi and Sue will be facing Fantasy in the finals. If it's Sue, we will have the potential for a Royal Road victory. That's right, Sue is on a Royal Road path all the way to the semifinals here. And if it's Jangbi, he's going to have his chance to escape the Kong line, kind of, by beating Fantasy, which would also be very awesome, and obviously as a diehard Jangbi fan, what I am rooting for. But still, Sue has beaten him twice recently. Sue has beaten Jangbi twice recently in the ODT, or offline prelims. Yeah, offline prelims, I think is what it actually was, and beat Jangbi a couple times, knocked him out of his group, and Jangbi had to come through the wild card tournament in order to get his spot into the actual OSL, and even there he went into a tiebreaker situation and had to beat Baby and Calm, and then lost a set to Flash. He's down 1-0 and comes back and wins 2 in the quarterfinals. It's just time and time again where he just keeps making fantastic plays and come from behind victories, and I gotta say I love it. I love Jangbi, and he's just, you know, this is just fantastic, and he's doing exactly what he did against Calm actually here. This is New Bloody Ridge. This is what he did against Calm. He went Gateway before Forge, got out some early Zealots and looked to make a little bit of early pressure. And he's doing that exact same thing again. Here we got fans from Austria, and that looks like a Samsung Con member. It looks like it might even, well, I don't know, they probably sell those coats, but that looked like an awfully official team jacket. So, looked very, very authentic there. Here comes Jangbi coming in for a scout. Gonna see the pool first build coming in for Sue, and he might actually be able to bother the drone. He's not going to. Just gonna walk in there and look around a little bit and let that hatchery go down. And I don't know what that says, but man, everyone hooping and hollering over all these tablets and things and signs. I want to know what it says. Sounds awesome. But yeah, this is going to be so much fun. This is going to be, first map is New Bloody Ridge. This is the map where Jangbi failed miserably against Flash on. And if we, let's see, second and third set. Second set I believe is Pathfinder, and third is La Mancha, I believe. And then if we need to, I forget what the fourth set is, and then the fifth set we'd come back to New Bloody Ridge is how it would go. If you're looking at the bottom right-hand portion of your screen, the left is going to be Sue, the right is going to be Jangbi. So you can always correlate those to the top if you forget, but to give you a quick recap, that is what it is. And I don't know what that is. If I had to take a guess, I think that might actually be like a ticket to the finals, maybe? Yeah, it looks like that's a ticket to the finals. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. He's already booked his ticket to the finals, and then yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. That's what it looks like. Anyways, a couple of Zealots out here for Jamie. He's already thrown out his Nexus and now a Forge. So those Zealots are going to be able to block in that pylon pretty effectively. And that's actually going to let him get his tech going quite a bit faster than the Forge first build. And I don't know if, yeah, Sue does know about this. He's got an Overlord over there, but it's definitely something to watch out for. If you can get your Gateway Force, your core can go down earlier, and obviously your Stargate, your Citadel, all those kinds of tech buildings can get down just a little bit earlier. And you know, if that's part of your build, if you can take advantage of that, that will be effective for you. And Jamie, oh, he does lose that pro. He's trying to micro around those Zerglings and trying to bring it home. Unfortunately, it does go down. Probably will send out another. No, he's not. He's going to go out with a couple of Zealots and actually bringing them home. This is actually a incredibly large number of Zerglings built by Sue. I think he maybe expected a Zealot attack, maybe felt that it was coming, and it's not. So he's got a lot more Zerglings than he actually needs to defend here. But nonetheless, it isn't a good idea for him. Calm, if you'll remember, in the wildcard tourney, got absolutely destroyed by Jangbi's early Zealots. It just took down several drones and really put Calm behind and hurt him badly. So definitely a good idea, I think, by Sue overall to go for those Zerglings early on, as he saw those early Zealots will at least stop Jangbi from even attempting such an attack. Jangbi with the probe out to the top left, and probably going to come in here for some more scouting information. Going to try and get into the third, and possibly maybe even bypass that, go straight into the natural left to see what he decides to do here. Will he go for the third? Will he go into the main? And he actually is going to go for the third here first. Going to scout that out before going to the main here. And Sue does see it. Will Jangbi be able to get the scout off and be able to see once more what Sue is doing? And this is very important, because if you can see what your opponent is doing with your probe, then you actually, with your first Corsair, can go after Overlords right off the bat rather than having to send it across the map to get the scouting information. and that can sometimes lend you to getting a second Overlord kill rather than just the standard one that Protoss players generally get. So it can end up being kind of significant here, but Jangbi not able to get in there. We do have Su with the layer going down, and he looks like he's about to throw down a tech building. He's got a drone standing there, standing by for producing combat, and Jangbi does get the probe into the base, so Jangbi gonna get the full scout on 3 hatches, and that is a spire. So he sees the 3-hatch spire here right off the bat, and Su does not look happy at all over this. Allowing that probe to get through, that is absolutely critical information there, that spire goes down, that it's not going to be a Hydra bust. I think most people looking at this series expected to see Hydra busts, 3 and 4 hatch Hydra busts from Su over and over and over again. Jangbi has been susceptible to that in the past, and that's why Jangbi is pushing so hard with these probes to try and keep a scout on, because he wants to know whether there is a bust coming his way or not. And it looks like Su maybe tried to mind game here, thinking that Jangbi would expect that, trying to go the other way, trying to go with more of a macro, kind of a more macro-oriented game. And he is getting a 4th hatchery to go with that spire. Probably will throw down a Hydra Dem pretty soon, but this is not going to be a heavy bust attempt here. And now Jangbi knows that. He's gone pretty skimpy on the cannons, just the 1 cannon in his natural at the choke, and not a whole lot else. So he's gone very, very skimpy on the defense. He's got a Corsair out right now, scouting out, which, as you'll see, he's looking for Overlords right now because he just doesn't need to scout the base. He knows what's coming. And he's not too worried about it, and just going to come in here and pick off this Overlord at the bottom, and he's going to produce a 2nd Stargate here, and as a Templar Archives as well. Also not looking to put down any cannons inside of his mineral line, so he's not even worried about a possible nude attack coming in here. It looks like he's pretty confident that his Corsairs, and possibly might be going for a Dragoon build or something like that as we develop. Maybe he thinks that will be enough, but it is sometimes a dangerous thing. Protoss players do tend to put a cannon or 2 inside of each of their mineral lines just in case, to buy them that little bit of extra time against Mutalisks. And we'll see if Jangbi decides to do that. Yeah, there he goes. He is going to put down a cannon inside of his natural mineral line. And there's some Scourge out scouting out these Zealots coming on the attack. And a bunch of Zerglings here to defend as the Mutalisks do pop now. So the Mutalisks are out, and they will force these Zealots away. Jangbi will have to get rid of them. It looks like he's actually going to maybe try and fight this a little bit. Jangbi needs to be a little bit decisive here, being very, very indecisive and allowing those Zealots to take a lot of extra hits. The Mutalisks are going to chase these Zealots around. Looks out Jangbi and split them up. So now he's going to go try and harass the 3rd. Actually, it looks like speed just kicked in, as well as splitting them up, so the Mutalisks are not going to be able to take down all of the Zealots. And in this time period, he is getting those cannons up, is continuing to produce Corsairs, so he will have air defense prepared for Su's attack. And here come a couple more Zealots trying to get into the 3rd base, not going to be able to. Now going back towards the natural expansion. This is all to buy time. A fantastic job by Jangbi. These Zealots were very, they really just weren't going to do much, but here he's used them to buy himself some time. It's kind of like in ZVZ when you see Zerglings do the same similar thing. Obviously much more expensive for a Protoss player to do this, but once he sent those Zealots out, they were basically dead. He wasn't going to be able to get them home to do much of anything, so he just decided to use them to give himself as much time as possible. And we have a Dark Archon out prepared for the Mutalisks. So we could be seeing a Wombo combo, could be seeing the Dark Archon Maelstrom Storm combo that I love so dearly. And this is a huge tech build from Jangbi, just continuing to pile on the tech. Corsairs, High Templar, Dark Archon, no Dragoons, doesn't even look like Dragoon range, and this is just straight up hardcore tech coming in here from Jangbi. And there's some Zealots, no Dragoons. Yeah, not even nothing else going on here. We got some more gateways coming up, so he's gonna be able to start macking up some more Zealots. But yeah, this is just such a heavy tech build. And he actually is gonna morph an Archon as well. So an Archon, Dark Archon mix coming in here. So pretty cool here. This is usually something you see later on in the game by Protoss players, not this early. But Jangbi decided to go for this right off the bat. And where is the other High Templar? I assume he's got another High Templar standing around, ready for a possible Maelstrom. And the Wombo combo with the Dark Archon that is possible. And another Corsair coming in here, going to get a scouter on the number of Hydros, which is nice, but is going to lose it to Mutalisks. So Jangbi actually is throwing away a lot of Loon units here. He's lost a bunch of Zealots, lost some Corsairs, hasn't done a lot of damage on the other end. So Su's got to be pretty happy in terms of the army count right now, but Jangbi does have his tech going, which is very important. The tech for Jangbi is very powerful right now, and he's starting to throw down some more cannons here to defend against any sort of Hydra break. This is a great opportunity right now for Su to maybe even tech up himself, try and get to that high tech level. He is taking a 4th hatchery there at the top left. We could see a Queen's Nest come in from him soon and possibly transition into high tech, which I think would be very, very wise on his choice. Mito's coming in here, going to try and pick off a couple more probes before they're forced to go elsewhere. So the Scourge going to once again scout out where Jangbi's army is. So doing some great work here, Sue, with his Scourge, able to scout out the army, the positioning of Jangbi. That is very important, and he's doing an excellent job of it. There's a Zergling at the third base of Jangbi, so he's going to be able to see that anytime Jangbi decides to put down that Nexus, Jambi's going to have to devote some Zealots or something to that spot in order to evict that Zergling. Until then, he won't be able to effectively take that base. Looks like Jangbi knows about that top left base, or at least suspects him. Killing more Scourge. Lots of Scourge here. And, yeah, I mean, there really aren't that many Corsairs, so these Scourge are kind of wasteful at this moment. They're good for scouting, and there's only one Corsair in the air right now. They'll also be good for ob sniping if you can keep them alive. I'm not sure if that's going to be part of his theory, to try and keep them alive as long as he can. I believe those Scourge did pick off the Corsair. Yeah, it looked like they were going to. It does seem like they have. Cybernetics Core spinning, so that'll be for Dragoon range. So we'll see a Dragoon transition here, and the robotics facility also finished for Jangbi. There we go, and I don't know who that is. I don't know. Probably something from SC2. I don't know what that is. But looks like we might have an engagement here. Jangbi coming up to the top left here. Some Lurkers and Hydras here. Jangbi does not have observers yet. His robotics facility just finished, so his obs should be on the way. But this is going to be dangerous for Jangbi. He needs to be careful. A nice little Maelstrom going out there on some Hydras and a Lurker or two. So he's going to engage here for a little bit. Going to take down that Lurker and then going to back off. This Dark Archon still alive. Still going to be able to have some more Maelstroms here short in the future. And oh wow, that's a lot of High Templar just spammed. And gotta think that he had the upgrade for them as well. So they should be very, very close to energy for storms already, right after production. And here we go again. It looks like Sue's a little bit concerned over this Dark Archon. Does not want to fully engage here. The Dark Archon and the Storm's obviously very, very powerful. And a nice Storm going in from Jangbi. Half damage, or almost killing that Lurker as well as taking down a few Hydras. And what will we see here from Jangbi? What will we see here from Sue? Who will decide to engage? And it does look like Sue wants to. Here he comes, coming in for the engagement. Some Storms coming in from Jangbi, trying to take out as many of the Lurkers as he can. Just one Storm so far. Where's his more Storms? There's another Storm. And there is an Observer in play as well. No Observers no ob sniping going to be coming in play here. Not quite yet. Some more Storms trying to force those Hydras away. Some decent Hydra dodging here. But looks like most of Jangbi's army has been destroyed, but the Dark Archon is alive, and a couple Archons are morphing, so he is managing to keep some of his tech alive, but the army for Jangbi, he's not able to produce that Death Ball, that Protoss Death Ball that he really needs in order to compete with his Zerg opponent. He needs that Death Ball, and so far, Sue's done a pretty good job of stopping Jangbi from producing it. Jangbi does have some obs in the air, as well as some Dragoons. He has finished +2 weapons, so that is going to be critical for him. He's going to be able to start doing a ton of damage. Only +1 armor right now on the Zerg units. We could be seeing some ob sniping coming in here soon from Sue. It does look like he's got a lot of observers around. He's got an ob speed and Scourge as well. So we could be looking for a heavy Lurker play. He does have 3 Evo chambers as well, so he should be good on upgrades. But with heavy Lurker play and ob sniping, obviously that's a very, very powerful tactic for Zerg players. Jangbi relocating his forces to the bottom right, where he's going to try and take his 4th base to try and counter Sue's 4 bases as well, and from that position he'll be able to guard both his 3rd and 4th bases. Looks like Sue coming in with some Zerglings going to be ushered away, not going to be able to compete with the Archons and the Dragoons and whatnot. And it does look like he's going to try and sneak some Zerglings over there to that bottom right hand base. There are a bunch of Zealots there, and that will actually be enough to probably stop those Zerglings from doing too much damage. Yeah, they will be enough to stop those Zerglings from doing too much damage. And then a bunch of Zerglings coming here to the 3rd base as well for Jangbi, and pulling off some probes to try and defend these cannons, and they are doing a decent job of picking off most of the Zerglings, and reinforcements come in for Jangbi as well. All the cannons do go down, but the Zerglings go down as well, so Jangbi will have to reproduce those cannons in order to continue his defense. Haven't seen a support bay yet. Still looking for a Reaver transition as well. Jangbi has spent a lot of gas, has been using a lot of gas, so Reavers might not be possible right at this moment. Definitely something that we will see develop, though. Does look like Sue's going to take the 12 o'clock base, and this is a dangerous position. Once that position is taken by a Zerg player, it's very easy for them to drop right into the main. So Jangbi needs to be aware of this. There's a support bay. He needs to be aware of this and needs to know that he needs to be prepared for possible drops. If he isn't, this could catch him completely by surprise. A drop there at the 12 o'clock could be devastating for Jangbi. On the other hand, we do have a shuttle coming out for Jangbi, so he could be going for some kind of a drop of his own, whether a DT drop or a storm drop remains to be seen. Or on the off chance, maybe it even carries a Reaver. That would be awesome. And a bunch of Overlords coming in for Sue. Are they loaded up? This could be a huge drop for Su if he's going in, and I'm not sure what he's waiting for, but he's got a ton of overlords up there, setting up for a drop right now. And maybe he's trying to get a full gauge of where Jamie's forces is. I think he should know pretty well where they are, so he should be able to go for that drop as soon as he wants to. The shuttle coming over here towards Su's bases, and a couple of Scourge on patrol might be able to pick it off. And Jamie is going to go for it, and it is going to get picked up, but will he get the drop of one Templar, two Templars? They do come off, and some storms going down, picking off a bunch of drones. Actually, it only looks like 3 drones or so far. That High Templar only does not look like it has enough energy for another storm. So not the best of drops from Jamie, only picking up 3 or so drones, and losing both High Templars and the shuttle in that attempt. So Sued with an excellent defense, they're able to fend Jamie off here. And now it looks like, I guess those overlords aren't loaded. Sued does look like he's about to load up for a big drop, and Jamie doesn't look like he has any idea this is coming in. Here we go, here's the drop, there we go, picking it all up, and Jamie still no idea that this is coming, and this is going to be devastating. Cracklings with Defilers do so much damage. And here it comes, Jamie trying to get cannons up. He saw this coming. Unfortunately, he didn't see it coming early enough, and Jamie very concerned. You saw that shake in his body. He is very concerned right now. He knows that this could do a ton of damage to him, and he needs to deal with this properly. And the Zerglings are in the gateways trying to pick off buildings. They do get a pylon, do get a gateway. How much more will they be able to pick off? All of this production destruction will damage Jangbi in the short term and the long term as well. So here we go. 2 gateways do go down. How much more will fall? Where are the Defilers? I feel like there should be Defilers as part of this. I don't know if I missed them and they blew up, but I feel like there should be Defilers in this attack somewhere. Did Su might have completely messed this up. I think Su might have completely messed this up. He should have had Swarm and Plague there involved in that battle as well, in order to keep his Zerglings alive longer. Plague in order to take down those gateways even faster. I don't know. Maybe he didn't actually load them up, but I gotta think that was a huge mistake by Su. Huge potential to take down a lot more gateways for Jangbi, and kind of threw it away. I gotta say, he really threw that opportunity away, Su. So taking a quick look at the bottom right, we see Jangbi ahead by about 20 side count here, and he's also got quite a large excess of minerals. At this point, with only about 20 side left, he's going to be saving most of his psi for tech units, High Templars, Reavers, that sort of thing. So we won't be seeing him spam too many zealots, I don't think, as this game progresses. And it looks like, what do we got here coming for Su? It looks like he's going to come in for a pincer. Zergling coming in from the back as well. Swarm in the front. Jamie able to keep his army alive, though. That Dragoon force very, very powerful, as long as they're not forced to fight under Swarm. Extremely powerful. Jamie continuing his upgrades as well. We only have a couple of observers out right now. Jamie has started to produce a bunch of Reavers, so his observer count is slightly lower, and something to watch out for is whether or not those obs do get sniped. There are some Scourge there. There are not any overlords there, and that is just piled up storms. I can't even see under there. I don't think either of them can see under there. Jamie just stormed the hell out of it, though. He's got observers, so even though he doesn't know when he's attacking, his units do, and they are going to try and clean up the lurkers that are left in here. And it looks like they do pick up all of the lurkers. Some Zerglings coming in from the back and the front once again, but it looks like there's enough Archons and Zealots to deal with this, so Jamie looks like he is going to take the field here in this battle and able to clean that up. Su has managed to get that 5th base going at the 12 o'clock position, and that looks like it has finally gotten saturated as well. Gotta watch out for Su continue to produce a ton of lurkers. Has not converted into that ultraless tech that we often see. And Jangbi is just storming his own High Templar. The Zerglings will not get that kill. The High Templar will kill itself first. And Jangbi converting, look at this, just pure Archons right now. Archon being formed everywhere. We got some Reavers being produced as well. Su had some good use of his Zerglings, trying to catch strangling straggler units and doing a pretty good job of it right now. So he got a couple of Dragoons. Unfortunately, did not have the control to keep them away from the Archons. So where do we go from here? Until the late game RB composition is starting to swing a little bit towards Jangbi. He's got those Archons in play. He's got those fully upgraded Dragoons, and we don't see the Ultras on the other side. But that is a nice play coming in here, catching a bunch of those Dragoons. So that is a nice play. But these Archon numbers are scary that Su's got to be looking at. As they grow, that is terrifying, and his play doesn't do anything against them. So you need to convert into that Ultraless if you're a Zerg player. I mean, you can try and do the ob sniping, and it looks like that's what he's doing so far, and doing a pretty decent job of it. He's picked up some obs, so he's managed to do that right now, but that is a much more difficult way of playing. Does look like honestly, it does really look like he has the gas to do that switch. He's got a couple thousand gas. A ultralisk conversion here would be very, very powerful. Jangbi trying to take the 6 o'clock base. Probably has a couple Reavers in that shuttle and trying to get cannons up as well. Jangbi is still maxed. Look at that, 994, basically maxed out. Going to be stockpiling minerals now, and going to start stockpiling gas as well. Some more storms. It's just blanketing storms. Look at this, Jangbi, just blanketing storms down over and over again, all over this, all under the swarm, over the swarm, on top of eggs, just everywhere. Storm, storm, storm. Going to kill off lurker eggs before they're even able to morph, and then just morph them into Archons. So Jangbi just coming here with a bunch of High Templars, storming the world as he is known to do, and then transforming them into Archons. And now he's got a huge Archon force and Reavers on top of that ridge, so this is going to be hard for Su to break. Jangbi doing fantastically here with his Reavers and his Storm right now, but he's got to watch out. Remember, Archons only do splash damage under Swarm, so he still ideally would fight not under Swarm if he can help it. And looks like that shuttle almost getting picked up, but it does have yeah, there we go. Here come a couple of Reavers coming in for this battle as well. So Jangbi coming in here for a big attack. He's got the Reavers, he's got the Obs, and he is going to clear out most of the lurkers. And no, the Ob does get picked off. Jangbi allowing that Obs to get picked off, and he's going to have to back off, and several Archons go down. Did you see that? Several Archons did go down to lurker fire with the when you AWOC and the observer dies, you just completely lose control of your Archons. Everything just starts dying, and Reavers continuing here to try and pick off what they can. It does look like they managed to pick off most of the lurkers, but now Hydra's coming in. They are going to go for the Reavers. They're going to pick off one. Will they get the second? They will get the second just as the last Hydra dies. He does get that Reaver, so good job by Su, able to pick off that Reaver, and he is actually taking the side count lead now. Jangbi needs to read macro. Excellent attack by Su. Ob sniping his way to victory right now. That was amazing by Su, able to ob snipe and use his lurkers in order to destroy most of Jangbi's army. Jangbi gonna have to re-macro hard right now, re-macro hard, and bring in some more observers. He's still got Archons though, still got some Dragoons, still got a bunch of Storm. And that is a lot of our lurker eggs morphing right now. And some Mutalisk coming in here, not going to be the most efficient thing here right now. And those lurker eggs, will they morph before the storms get in here? This is a huge opportunity for Jangbi, and he gets a huge storm down on tons of those lurkers. A bunch of those lurkers do go down. A bunch of lurker eggs are going to go down as well, and more storms going down all over those lurkers. So a nice attack there by Jangbi. He does, unfortunately, they'll lose his observer, so he's going to have to back off once more. More lurkers coming in here from Su. Look at that train of lurkers coming here with the Defiler swarms as well, and Jangbi's force looks to be a little bit of a shell of its former self, and the 6 o'clock position for Jangbi is starting to get attacked here with Hydras under swarm, which is very, very devastating, and without Reavers in there, that's not going to be very easy for Jangbi to defend. He's starting to lose control of the bottom of that ramp, which is at which point Su will be able to start devoting some resources into taking down that 6 o'clock base, which will be very painful for Jangbi. He is trying to re-macro up as well as he can, trying to bring in more units to bear, but it looks like he's going to have to sacrifice it. Yes, he is not going to be able to handle that 6 o'clock base. It is going to go down. These probes are just going to try and mine as much as they can before they die. Realistically, Jangbi is probably at an excess of probes right now and doesn't really mind losing them too much. With his main and natural, and his third probably close to mine out as well. Jangbi coming into the middle where Su has produced a hatchery and is going to take down that base very, very quickly. And some more storms coming down all over these lurkers. Great storms once again by Jangbi. Jangbi's storms have not gone to waste here in this game, and they do not disappoint. After that, those epic storms against Flash, he has continued that here against Su in his PvZ. Unfortunately here, it looks like some swarms coming in here and some ob sniping, so he's not able to take everything down. And a couple of Reavers actually were dropped at the 12 o'clock base. Looks like they took down most of the drones there. A 15 kill Reaver and a 17 kill Reaver, and I didn't see how many kills was on the other one, so it looks like they took down a lot of units. Maybe not all the drones, but it looks like they took down a lot of Zerglings. I'm not sure how many drones he actually took down, but he did do a lot of damage there at that 12 o'clock position with that little bit of a Reaver drop. Su also taking the 6 o'clock base, so gonna try and take the base that Jangbi took, but Jangbi looks like he's looking towards the 12 o'clock position to try and knock that down, and has a great chance here. Nice storm coming down, gonna catch tons of drones. So many drones just went down for Su as he was evacuating those or bringing those drones into mine. Absolutely destroys a whole conga line, and here comes Su coming with a bunch of Zerglings, but does not have Defiler support. Defiler support is necessary for those Zerglings to be effective, and they just go down really for nothing. And a bunch of Overlords here could go down, and that could actually hurt Su's macro here if he loses too many overlords, but it looks like he's going to be able to get them out in time. And Jangbi continuing here at the bottom of the ramp. Su not having control over all of his lurkers, not able to get them all burrowed, and needs to get some ob sniping done here as well. And those spells coming in from the defilers, so things falling apart here for Su. No spells, poor lurker dropping, everything falling apart for Su, not able to control his armies as he was coming to this 12 o'clock position to defend. No swarms, no plague, and lurkers too late to burrow, and gets absolutely crushed in that battle. And this could be decisive. This could actually end the game right now. So much waste from Su in that battle could actually allow Jangbi to just roll his way to victory here. He is up about 40 psi, has those Reavers, has those Storms, the Archons, and has quite an impressive army composition. On the other hand, Su does not have the money to reproduce very much right now. He's trying to bring units to bear, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think Jangbi is going to win this game. Su looks very disappointed right now. He looks like he is just about out of it. Jangbi is almost done mining as well, and only mining off that bottom right hand base, but pretty soon Su will not be mining because this top left base is about to fall, and Storm's keeping those Hydralisks at bay right now. Some drones going towards the 6 o'clock position. Maybe Su thinking that if he can hold here at the top left and start mining at that 6 o'clock base, he can really get his way back into this. But right now, Storm's doing so much damage. Jangbi Storms, I love it. I love the Jangbi Storms, so brilliant. And if he can take down this top left base, maybe do something at the 6 o'clock position, he'll be fantastic. I mean, really, that's begging. There's virtually no defenses there. It's begging to be storm dropped or reaver dropped. I don't know if Jangbi has the multitask to handle that, but if somehow he can get to that 6 o'clock position, take down the mining there, this game will be over. At this point, it's Su is on his last legs at this point. There's really not much left for him, and he's just trying to stay in it as well as he can. But it does not look good right now for Su. He's dependent upon that 6 o'clock base for virtually all of his mining, and the top left base, he's got a hatchery in an offset position, but not a whole lot of drones there, so not very looking good at all for Su. And here Jangbi's just going to try and clean up this is just remnants of the forces, I think, from the attempted defense of Su at the 12 o'clock base. And I wonder if Jangbi realizes that he's 55 psi ahead. I don't think he knows, otherwise I think he would just barrel down and destroy Su. Nonetheless, he is still just so strongly in the driver's seat in this game. He's going to take the 12 o'clock base. That will be his new 5th base, and there's overlords there, and he doesn't even care. Doesn't matter in the least they're there. Jangbi coming in. There he goes. Comes in for a storm drop. Going to pick up all of the drones at the 6 o'clock position. I'm sorry, all except 3, but virtually all of the drones. And so Su down to 45 psi, just under 1,000 overall resources, and he is going to be out of this game. Jangbi is going to win this on New Bloody Ridge, and he will have the advantage going into the second set. It's just a matter of waiting for GG from Su at this point. There's absolutely no opportunity for Su to come back in this game. Blanket Storm's coming in here, picking off a bunch more Zerg units, and GG from Su. Jangbi takes game 1 and the series lead at this point in this semifinals, this second semifinal. So here we go. We're gonna go on to set 2. I believe it's Pathfinder, but we will see you. I will see you in set 2. Fantastic start for our Protoss hero Jangbi as he attempts to enter the finals against Fantasy. I will see you guys all in the second set.